Please, Gabriel Olawiyo Bamidele, could you please introduce yourself?
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Gabriel Olawi. Sorry if my face is not very clear. It's okay. I'm currently a research assistant at the University dei Studi di Padova in Italy, University of Padova. Previously, I finished on the Erasmus Mundus joint master degree as well. On the plant health program, I was in Spain for my first year, and I was in Italy for the second year, where I got the research position now. And they are not like as brilliant as Tunde, who has won like almost 1 million of scholarships. I only won that for me, and yeah, it's not like that. Great to meet you all.
Thank you so much for the introduction. Yeah, so also myself I just finished my second year of PhD, so going to my third year at the Virginia Tech in the interdisciplinary program of genetics, bioinformatics, and computational biology. I work with mosquitoes, so functional genomics and bioinformatics of mosquito-borne diseases. That's my research area. So before this time, I've had the opportunity to win some small scholarships in Europe. I had a master's in Europe under Erasmus Mundus, and also some other scholarships. I've also had the opportunity of winning them. I was opportunity to get a funded scholarship after my bachelor for a summer program in animal science and biotechnology at Chonbuk National University, South Korea. So yeah, that's pretty much about me. So we would move to the next round of questions now. So now my first question will go to Gabriel. So we've been hearing that, it's only in the US that there are opportunities. Are there opportunities in Europe at all for scholarship, for people looking for scholarships? Yeah, mute. Yeah, muted.
Sorry. There are dozens and thousands and hundreds and millions of scholarship opportunity in Europe. The list goes on, starting from the biggest and most enviable of it all, which I think is like for me the Erasmus Mundus joint master degree because of the mobility track. Also, there is I'm listing now in terms of like the big name, the popularity and stuff. There are other governmental scholarship, for example, the DAAD in Germany, which is sponsored by the German Federal Ministry. There is the NAVA scholarship, Sunday was mentioning the other time, which is associated to Poland. There is also the Italian government scholarship. There are quite a lot of scholarship, and if we are talking about Europe, I don't know if we are talking as a continent or as the EU. So if we talk as a continent, there are scholarships in the UK, talk about Chevening, talk about the Commonwealth, talk about Marshall Papworth, and the list goes on. So, and also for PhD as well, you have the Marie Curie. There are a list of scholarships and a lot of opportunities in Europe. You just need to get the information right.
Thank you so much for the answer. As you've heard, so there are tons of opportunities in Europe. Could you, I will go to Lydie. Could you also, if you think something is amiss from what Gabriel have said, if there is any addition, do you have any addition as to opportunities, in Europe and the lines? Yeah.
Well, thank you. Yeah, thank you for the question. Yeah, I said Gabriel rightly said basics, like what is very important. Like there's nothing like the US holds scholarships more than any other part of the world. So there the opportunities you have, they are very numerous. You cannot exhaust them. Yes, I don't know if there's any one of us talking to you today that applied to more than 50, but I tell you there are more than 50 scholarships opportunity there, more than 1,000, more than 1 million. So, but as much as these things are, what is very vital is you sift where you fit in, and then you apply to what suits your interests most. So there are limitless opportunities there. Just use your Google, your best friend, and tap into those opportunities, and everything will be fine.
Okay, thank you. Today, I will ask you the next question. So, what if we had like most of our audience that would like to apply for scholarships in Europe, maybe in the coming cycle now? What are the things you think they should be preparing for? What are the requirements? Just give us some few requirements. I will ask the other panelists to also give us some other few requirements. Yeah.
Okay. So the requirement generally differs from scholarship to scholarship. But on a general note, every scholarship requires you to have like your statement of purpose, or what they call a motivation letter, or cover letter in some cases. Then also they need your transcripts for your undergraduate program, or for your master's if you are applying for a PhD and all. They also need letters of recommendation, so that you have to build a quality relationship with your undergraduate supervisor and all, keep it close. Your degree certificates. Some they require you to have like some tests, maybe English proficiency test and all, but all those things can easily be waived, especially if you have medium of instruction. If you are from Nigeria, English is the mode of communication, and in all the universities in Nigeria, you can always get that, and you can take that in place of, for instance, TOEFL or IELTS and all. So that does it on a general term, but I think what you need most importantly is your determination, because I'm sure all the scholars they have their fair share of it. So when the rejections come and everything, so you need your determination in addition to all those basic requirements.
Thank you for the answer. It's quite comprehensive. Victor, so I've been hearing that it's only people that have first class that win scholarship. Is that true?
I wouldn't say that's true. I mean, there are people with 2-2 and 2-1, even third class who have won scholarship. And I would say when a scholarship goes it's more than your degree, like your first class. Even if you have a first class and you don't do anything to it, it's as useless as anything. I would tell you that someone with 2-1 that added value has a higher chance of getting a scholarship than someone with just a first class without, because grad school itself is not about academic excellence. There's a lot more to it, right? And they want to see that in your application to know if you are an all-around student or you are just academically smart, right? So you have to have maybe I've gone to 1 or 2 conferences, maybe I have 1 or 2 conference paper, if not a publication, 1 or 2 professional organization membership, something to show that you're actually ready for what you are going into, because getting into the grad school is the easiest part, I would say. Surviving it is the hardest part. Yeah, so it's not only first class. with your 2-1, with your 2-2, if you are determined, as Scholar Babatode has said, if you are determined and you add value to what you already have, you would get it. You would get it. There are also scholarships that are not focused on your degrees. So I think scholarship like Chevening, all the dad scholars I've met, I haven't met a dad scholar that had first class. It's more like dad is just looking for people like 2-1. But because they I think that focus more on experience. They want minimum of 2 years experience. So that's something for them. So you have to know the scholarship and know which one fits, aligns with what you have and all. So that's just it. So yeah.
Thank you so much for the answer. So I just want to buttress what he said. It is very, very important to actually rightfully choose your battle. Look at the requirements. Some scholarships are actually need-based. So some are centric on grades. So you will like in some scholarships or some programs, it might be difficult if you have a second class and nothing more. Like you said, it has to be holistic. You have to like prepare very well. You have to be all around. Conferences, skills. So what are the skills that are needed in the program that you are actually going into? What are the, is it data analysis skills? Are you going into life sciences? Do you have some understanding of some basic bioinformatics analysis and some other things like that? So those are the things that actually has up together because like Victor rightly said, I've seen even in Erasmus a 2-1 getting an Erasmus scholarship ahead of a first class student. So it's not solely based on grade. You have to be all around because as each application cycles comes, the competition increases very well because you have a lot of people competing for few spaces. Down during our discussions, you'll be hearing from personal experiences with what I've just said now. Yeah, thank you so much. So we move to the next question. So Laide, could you please give us maybe from your personal experience in Europe, how you apply, what you did, what you think you did back then that gave you the opportunity to actually get that prestigious Erasmus Mundus scholarship? You are muted.
Yeah, so thank you for that question. Like, I think my whole story would show more of dynamism and motivation and grit. So I don't know if you are writing, you could write those: motivation, dynamism, and grit. Now, it so happened that myself and Scholar Kobio in 2020, I think 2020, we applied to EMABG together. And yes, I knew my application was very flawed and I got rejection. That year, Scholar Kobio was given the offer as one of the Nigerians that was selected. Now, do you know that immediately I received the rejection, I knew he was selected. If he's here, he can testify. I reached out to him and I asked him, guy, I got rejected. What's up? And he told me, oh, let's look at your stuff together. And we looked at it. I started rewriting my application for the next cycle that day that I got rejected. Like I started rewriting that day I got rejected. So it took me more than 8 months to put my application together. And this is it. I had my first degree in animal nutrition and I had no experience with the lab. I had no experience with genetics and genomics, and it was not very rounded. Like, I don't have things. So I started doing courses online to pad for those aspects that I don't have coursework on my transcript. Started doing stuff in genomics, increasing my understanding and skills in data analysis and stuff, which might be very important for the course I'm applying to. And I also positioned myself for internships. I found a way to put myself into the International Livestock Research Institute because that has name. The weight of that on your CV alone is big. So I did all those and I was writing. Babatunde is my very good friend. Like everybody on this call, the scholars you're talking to, they are my very good friend. We had so many things in common. So myself and Tunde, we were at IITA together. So he told me about implant plus. Then I was not thinking about crossing from animal science to plant science. So he told me, and I started looking at things. During my stay at IITA, I would stay at the office, do online courses, Coursera courses on genomics, do courses on R programming and stuff like that. Just making sure that my profile fits anything in genetics and genomics like that. Like, yes, I wrote my essays. Thank God for Scholar Gabriel here. He was there all the way, prepping and reviewing and stuff. So I wrote my essays. I was optimistic. However, my profile was a bit robust than my previous application. So in essence, what I'm trying to say is you can have a very beautiful essay written, but what gives your essays access is your CV, because at times they don't check your essays first. They check your CV, they check what is your profile like. And with that, they reduce people, because the way Implant Plus removed people from the whole process was very funny. Scholar Tunde applied to Implant Plus the same year. He was rejected at the first stage, and he had 2 years experience in IT. So many things adds up to that process. Your essays, good, your profile, very important. But all the way, what I would say is my motivation and my dynamism did not keep me grounded. Unfortunately, I was rejected the second time from EMABG. Like, I was placed on reserve. That year, they selected Onabanjo Olumide. And I called him and I was like, guy, what did I do wrong? Then he mentioned the issue of publication and conference papers and publications. So I want to implore everyone, don't take your project lightly. Don't say it doesn't concern me, it's none of my business. Look for a way to publish it, even if it is the least publishing journal house in Nigeria, in Africa. Look for a way to get that paper out, publish it. So write your motivations very well, be plain, look for something to focus on. Don't just write food and like you want to solve food problem or food security or whatever. Be specific, look for one problem and face that problem, and make sure it aligns with the goal of the sponsor or the fellowship you're at applying to. And I think with that, you're on a very good path to get selected. Sorry for the lengthy stuff. Thank you.
No, thank you so much for that comprehensive explanation on your experience. Like we all know, we all have specific, unique experiences. I would love to hear from other scholars too. Uh, uh, Today, could you please also share your experience so that others also learn from it?
Okay, yeah, thank you very much for that. So I started scholarship application in 2020, and I applied to tons, like I said, tons of them, keep getting rejection and all. At the point when I knew that, okay, I was going to pursue in plant pathology, even though I had done my NYSC at IIT, like cassava breeding unit. So I had to go for internship, like Razak also said, that if you see that you don't have the experience, go for the internship and gather experience. You don't have to be paid, it might be free, so, but at least you know there's an end goal. So it's why I approached one of the scientists at IIT and I was enrolled in an internship. and I was still applying. I got recommendation from my supervisors and everything, but the rejections keep coming in. I applied to implants, like Isaac said, although it was not at the first stage. I was placed on reserve list. It was plant health that completely shanked me. I was not in reserve list, just complete outright rejection. But I applied for FAO, applied for NAWA, applied for Queen Elizabeth Commonwealth Scholarship, and it was around, okay, I think a month apart. So it's then the success. I mean, I think Adiola Ali always say, uh, the number is a game of numbers. So you apply to as many as possible. Although don't just apply anywhere. Don't just say, because I want to apply, do apply. Apply with every, like, putting your best foot. But apply to as many as possible. So at the end of it, I got accepted. But during those times of rejection, it was not, I mean, I'm almost entered depression as I could, like, especially plant health, because like Razak said, imagine he prepared for 8 months for AMABG, but he didn't get it. Like, that was what I did for plant health as well. I got recommendation from my supervisor at IIT, who is not in Nigeria. Musicant, I got, like, I did, it was the only application I went to FUNAB because of it, to speak with one lecturer in Department of Crop Protection to get recommendation and all. And I was rejected outrightly. So you could have done everything right, I mean, but you still be rejected. So at that point, you have to surround yourself with like minds. During those times, thank God for that encouraged me and all. And you also have to, like I said earlier, when you are about to give up, remember why you started. So that's just it. You really say that he will give up, naim humble, right? So, like, just give it your best. The rejection will come. You have written your essay perfectly, but because you are competing with a lot of people and there are limited spaces, and it also takes more than your hard work, more than your smart work, it also takes the grace of God. So I think that's just uh,
Thank you. Thank you so much. Gabriel, can you share your experience?
I think my experience is quite different from the others. I'm maybe one of the few lucky ones, I would say, to be honest. However, when I mean lucky, that does not mean I did not do any, that doesn't mean I did nothing. I also prepared, but I got rejected also, not like I didn't get any rejection. We graduated, mostly these people around this set, maybe 2018, 2019, thanks to strike and whatever. But I started the application during the 2020 session when it was like a whale movement in Nigeria then. A lot of people really moved with scholarship. Yeah, I applied to a number of scholarship. I applied to, I don't know, I think many people didn't mention this possibly because no one even got any response to the New Zealand scholarship. Very, very tough scholarship. So I see Victor smiling, maybe he also applied. There were all these stressful essay like, okay, in 50 words, write this, in 50, 25 words, write this, in 100 character, write this. We did all of that. And sadly, it was unfilled. You have to print the form, unfilled, scan. But no thanks to COVID, or maybe thanks to COVID, however it is, nobody got any response. Every application for that year was gone. I already started organizing my life for the University of Brisbane, whatever is the name in New Zealand also. But so I don't know if I should count that as a rejection. Also, I applied to the Orange Knowledge Program scholarship in the Netherlands, which is attached to the Dutch universities. I already got the admission for Wageningen University of Research. Very good, right up. I was selected among the few to keep moving towards the selection of OKP. But it was that year, we don't know what happened. They said Nigerian men had issue with some whatever, and they selected only girls. So I was dropped out again. So, however, I was also applying to Commonwealth, which of course all the university I applied to gave me a pure red card, I think double red card, because the essays were too long. I guess there were redundancy. I'm saying this so that you can also try to focus on some aspect that might cause some issue. Commonwealth. And but that same year was the year I got my Erasmus Mundus plant health, which today was rejected from. I applied to the one Razak got implant that same year. It is funny because I was ranked among the top 20 for plant health, and I was kicked out mercilessly on implants. For what reason? I don't know. I wrote them a series of emails. I want to know why you do this. What is the purpose of this? Blah, 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 with that curiosity in me, like, anyways. So, however, all through it, I was also lamenting, but because the space of letter coming in were not far from each other, because I got the rejection from implants maybe a week, and maybe this following week, I got this acceptance for plant health. So it's already superseded everything. So that was why I said, maybe I'm one of the few lucky ones that got it the same year, because maybe not everyone's. The same year I started to apply. But however, I was preparing for it. I wrote my essay. I had almost 8 people review my essay. And yeah, so I think these are just my, okay, also Masha PowerPoints. Like Kubio was saying the other time about experience, because I applied also to Masha PowerPoint, which was linked to Upper Adams University in the United Kingdom. It was also like the New Zealand, when you had to fill everything. They had dialog box, you cannot exceed it, and field scanned and send. From Nigeria to that same university, I heard like we were only 2 people for Nigeria, but the person that was selected was a 2-2 or maybe a 2-1, but she has tons of experience. It became coincidental because the same guy that was reviewing my essay was the one reviewing for her. So it was somewhat dicey. We did not know. So, however, that does not mean if you are still in school, not to put more effort. If you can get a first class, of course, you go for it. It also gives some edge based on the university or scholarship you are applying to, because it pays anyways in the long run. However, if you couldn't make it, don't feel frustrated like, okay, I already lost out. I already lost the battle. Because there was a girl on my program from my same university, the same class, that was given the scholarship, and she finished with a 2-2 also, and we both got the scholarship. And I had a lot of friends from UI who were calling me with like, UI uses 7. They were like 6.8, 6 point whatever of 7. They were like, I did not get it. I'm like, I don't know. What can I say? So when I got there, I asked like, what actually was the I think that was even 2 months ago, like, because I'm in the university that does the processing. What are the things you use to judge? How do you filter someone that you think has a first class and select the 2-2 over it? There are like many things are involved. For my course, 4 universities will review you. So you have to imagine if each university has scored you, they find the total. So he was trying to be very diplomatic, but ensure you have a very good reference letter. If you have like 5 referees, make sure they are all in synchrony. What they are talking about, you at least make some sense. Like it relates to what this is saying, what this has said, or whatever. So that is a bigger part of it. Sorry, I took a bit longer, but there's my experiences.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think a lot of people have learned one or two things from your experience. I think I will go to next to Victor. Have you shared your experience? I think you are next.
Yeah, thank you so much. My experience is quite also different because I'm not even one person who thought I was gonna travel out. I like the money. I was doing one or two business. I was making money back in Futa. I graduated 2019. I don't even have a passport then. Went to service. COVID happened. Then I was grounded since February 2020. 20, was it 2020, right? February 2020. So being at home, it gave me time to actually reflect that what do I want to do with my life? Am I sure I just want to do this? I needed to do something, right? Luckily, I had a first class degree. That was the only thing I had then. Then I was like, okay, uh, I was very much interested in Wageningen also, right? So I went to Wageningen website. I wanted to go to Wageningen. I was applying there. And that was where I saw Erasmus, EMABG, right? Because OKP, ASP was quite crowded, and I saw EMABG. I was like, oh, what's this? Then I checked mine. So, wow, I could go to like 2, 3 universities. That's very nice. So I think my first point of seeing that was around February, March, or April in 2020. Then next thing was to get information. Information is key when you are applying. Please, you have to be informed. And scholarship application is not something you can do in 1 week or 2 weeks. My application took me about 10 months because I actually started working on it from that point, from like April, that May or April, May. Then I reached out to likes of Scholar VO. He got tired of me, trust me. He reviewed my essay like 3, 4 times because I had enough time. I had from March. Application opened October and closed January 15, and I submitted January 10. So I started working on it from March. Imagine how much time I had to rewrite. And COVID was there. I wasn't going to work. I wasn't going to service. So I had time to rewrite. When they correct, they rewrite. I think then Nigeria had 4 students currently on Erasmus EMABG scholarship. I was in touch with 3 of them, himself, Temutokbe Oriohu, and one other Christian Elbari. I was in touch with the 3 of them. They were all reviewing my essay. So you need information. Internal information is key. So I had them to review my essay, give me information. I had time to start taking online courses. As you said, you need some skills. Like then I didn't know what R was. First time I had R was when I was going through the EMABG courses and I saw her. I was like, what's that? Then I went to Coursera, took 1 or 2 courses, got certificate from it. You have to think ahead, to work ahead. Took courses, went to conferences, told my supervisor, sir, I need this. Was able to help out with getting me to have a conference paper. I went to Abuja for INSAP conference, did all that. You have to accumulate a lot of experience and all. And I think all that really helped my application because it was my first time. Luckily, it was my first application for EMABG and it was my first time. But I wouldn't say it's all luck. It was being informed and working. Like, as I said, it took me about 10 months to prepare for one application. So I could say that essay was reviewed up to like 20 times. I even had to pay a professional to also review it after getting the scholars to review. I was in touch with Babajide Macaulay. I attended one of his program and which comes with one free review. And I had him to review my EMABG essay also. So you have to start early. Scholarship application is a full-time job. It's a full-time job. It's not something you do. It's not a side hustle. Because you know what you want. It's a full-time job. So that was my own experience. And you have to touch around. You have to do this, do that. Look at the program. What do they need? These are skills. Start doing something. Be proactive. Yeah, that's the word. Be proactive. So it shows that, okay, this person already knows 1 or 2 things about what he has a foundation. Because those are the things you will learn and you will use. And you get there and they are saying, all right, like, kidney, what is that? It can be very frustrating. So yeah, so be proactive, get information, and one thing, please follow instruction to the last. That's one thing they can use to, like, you can have the best application, but they can throw it out if you don't follow instructions. If they say 500 words and you're writing 750, well, you give them a good chance to throw you out. So that's also something. If anything is unclear, send a mail to the organization. Sir, this, I don't understand. They will reply. They will reply. Trust me. Send a mail. That would even be nice because they already seen your name. You're asking questions. You're asking questions. It doesn't mean you will get it though, but it shows you are inquisitive and you want to do the right thing. So yeah, I think just to put my own experience in a wrap. So that was it. Reach out to those that LinkedIn is a very good place to reach out. LinkedIn is a very good place to reach out. I reached out to them on LinkedIn and they were very supportive. They helped me. And yeah, since then we've been a family, and yeah. So that was my own experience. And luckily that was the only scholarship I got. So I had no choice. I couldn't select. Yeah, although I wanted Wageningen, but I found myself in Germany and Norway. But I loved it. I could say those that went to Wageningen also, I don't think they know anything I don't know. So we meet in class, and when we share knowledge, it's like, oh, well, I still know what you know. But then it was the #1 school. It was prestigious. I wanted that prestige, but yeah, I think Germany really did help my life a lot. So yeah, that was my experience
Yeah.
with
Thank you.
scholarship. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. Maybe I should just throw in my own experience about, scholarship also. Yeah, like all the panelists have said, we all have a fair share of our story. My own started, I think, Gabriel, Rasaki, they really know about me because we had a national diploma together. So yeah, so since then, I always have this, the hunger to actually push for more, to go for more, When I started applying to international scholarship when I was in 300 level at Department of Animal Sciences, so Obafemi University, so OAU. So I was applying, with no experience, but I knew that, you have to apply. I applied to MasterCard Foundation Scholarship. I filled all those their forms about need-based things, but I was rejected. I did it the second time. I was also rejected. But some few years down the line, after I got some scholarship, when I look back at my application, I would laugh at myself as, guy, what have you done? What did you write? Even if I were to be the one to give you the money for that scholarship, I wouldn't give you. I wouldn't give you a dime. So that actually showed growth. So you learn from experience, So, but after those rejections, I reached out to some people. I joined some international scholarship fora on WhatsApp, like HISF, ISF. We called it ISF then. First class leaders network, because I also graduated with a first class. So, but before I graduated, I already joined those fora. So I was, getting information, they shared the news of people who won scholarship. And I said, no, you can also do this. You can also do this. These people do not have two heads. So you can also do this. So I actually looked at their profile, because people share their profile, what they've done and the likes, and it really helped me a lot. I was able to tap into some things. And there is one scholar, John Oyekunle, is currently in Germany. I think he should be rounding up his PhD. If he graduated from FUNAB. So you know that, from OAU, FUNAB. So you have to build this network, these connections. You have to build them. So it will go a long way in helping your future, even when you get to Europe or US or anywhere. Try to build your network. So he was the one, he was mentoring me. He just sent an application to me one day. It was about a summer program in South Korea. I looked at it, the hunger was there. I just applied. I wrote a proposal. Then that was the first time I wrote a proposal. So they asked us to write a proposal for what we want to do. And then I submitted some other application material, and I reached out to my professors who are still my mentors. to Professor Mitogun, Ophelia Mitogun. So she wrote the recommendation for me, and then I submitted. Then few weeks down the line, I received an email that congratulations, you've been selected, blah, blah, blah. I thought it was a dream because that experience, they sent the flight tickets, the visa, they said I should go and apply for visa. I should just give them some things without paying. I didn't pay any time for the visa application, but I'm not saying for all scholarships. So it varies. So, but this particular one, everything was paid for. So then I went to South Korea, Chonbuk National University. I almost a month there. I spent there. It's opened my eyes to a lot of things in agriculture, in genetics. You know how you can actually crisscross from one field in genetics to another, maybe from plant to animal, from animal to human genetics and the likes. Then my love for molecular genetics actually grew then. So with that experience, I think that's one of the most pivotal things in my own profile. So when I came back, I went for the service, and then I applied for the EMABG. I applied for the Japanese government scholarship called MEXT at University of Tokyo. I applied for Mastercard Foundation Scholarship at McGill University in Canada. So the first, I think the first, I got a rejection from McGill. I was like, what? that was the I would say the most shock I've ever had in my life. I was brimming with confidence with my profile. I was brimming with confidence, like, no, you got this. And I've been in contact with Professor Rick Pugh or something. He's a professor there in also quantitative genetics. We've been talking back and forth. I was very, very confident, and then they just sent me a rejection letter. I could still remember that dark night in Akure when I was serving. I opened my email, and then I was shocked. I was shocked. So then I said, okay, it's your loss. That's what I used to say. I said, it's your loss. So I moved on. I had to prepare the application for mixed Japanese government scholarship. All the forms you have to fill online and then download them, print them, and then mail it. You have to mail it physically to Japan. So I did that. Thankfully they increased the allowance then. I was able to pay. I was able to pay DHL to send my package, application package to Japan. So then my fingers was crossed. I crossed my fingers. I was waiting for reply. I also applied to EMABG, Erasmus Mundus scholarship in European Masters in Animal Breeding and Genetics. So then they sent an email to me, the Japanese school, the University of Tokyo. That's the best university in Japan then, and even I don't know till now, they should still be the best. So since for pre-screening, I have to do some other things, and then I saw a name of a student from my school too, from OAU. I said, oh wow, so we are applying, but the person was not able to actually mail the application package to them because of cost. So that was how he was eliminated from the pool. So the scholarships actually use they use series of things to actually weed people out. So that's one part of things that actually eliminated the guy. He reached out to me. I said I already sent my own application. Then they sent an interview invite to me. They asked me to prepare a slide to talk about a certain topic within, I think, 5 minutes or so. Was it 5 or 7 minutes? And then I presented to them. I was like, I was serving it at FUTA. So during that time, when I go back to my lodge, I just practice. I talk to myself and record myself, with my presentation, and I time myself. Then, yeah, so I did the interview. Luckily for me, they don't, in the area I lived, they don't used to bring light, NEPA. So we already filled the gen that, okay, please, I have an interview by 1 a.m. Please, you help me to switch on the gen. But before that time, NEPA just brought lights. So there was no need for me to on generator. So yeah, in short, I did the interview. I did the interview. They asked a lot of questions after the interview. Finished the interview, and I said arigato. I wanted to be speaking Japanese. Yeah, he said, okay, we'll get back to you. So in short, I was part of the, I think, 6 or 4 people that was selected by the University of Tokyo for that master's scholarship. So that's I had that offer. I was waiting for Erasmus Mundus, but as people have already said, the COVID-19 pandemic kicked in, and then in Asia they imposed a lot of measures. They were trying to tell us that, okay, you can defer your scholarship till this time, and then when they remove the restrictions, you can come, blah blah blah, and the likes, or you can continue now. We will not pay you anything, and the class schedule will be in Japanese time, which is actually very, very weird for me. So I was just lying in wait. I was looking at my options. Then the acceptance for EMABG came in. So I was weighing the options, because the offer from the scholarship offer from MEX was actually greater than Erasmus. But due to some things, I went for Erasmus. And till today, I never regretted that decision. So yeah, that's for my in short, my experience about scholarship. I reach out to a lot of people. They review my essay, and then I also prepare for so many times before I could finally submit the applications. So yeah, scholarship is not something you just wake up one day, you want to submit your application or something. It's something. It's a continuum. You continue to prepare yourself so that by the time the opportunity comes, your preparation will actually meet this. People will be like, you are lucky. No, it's not like you are lucky. Lucky might be there. The lucky factor might be there, but your preparation actually meets an opportunity at the right time and the right place. That's just it. So that will be all for our experience about scholarship. So I will move. So because I want us to treat entertaining questions from the Andres, I'll just try to ask the panelists, what are the problems or the mistakes applicants make during the application cycle? Like, what are the common mistakes I will start with today, please.
Okay, yeah, common mistake that I think people make. It's, for instance, it's like Olumide rightly said the other time, instruction. You have to like listen to instruction or read the instruction of the application you are making. So whatever the instruction says, follow it strictly. So that's one thing I'll say. And also it's regarding lack of preparation. People just, I know that especially now, it's even more intense, the Japa syndrome and all that. So just think you can't just do anything. No, you have to prepare for it and prepare adequately. So those are the things I think that common mistakes, and your CV as well. As Zach said the other time, like let your CV like introduce you. You might have written a brilliant motivation letter or SOP, but your CV, they might check your CV first and they see if you have not like emphasized what you have done. You may think you don't have the experience, but many of us, I know that we did undergraduate thesis and we did research that should count as your research experience in a way. You could include it, like there's no, I mean, not to lie in your CV, but to include things in a way that to fit in the program and all that. So those are some
Yeah.
of the things I think people need
Thank
to
you.
yeah aware of.
Thank
And
you.
also sorry, just to add one more thing, and also try to, for instance, if you visit the website of the program, you are, it's still related to instruction. For instance, if it's need-based scholarship or it's maybe academic excellence scholarship, know what the scholarship you are applying for, what they require, so that you not be applying in vain.
Thank you so much. Gabriel, quickly, one or two common mistakes that has not been mentioned. If you,
Like they already say, everything is about instruction, and also especially when you are writing your essay, if they say character limit is different from word limit. I almost made that mistake myself with the Erasmus Mundus, because they said 1,000 character, and I was like, wow, how will I write 1,000? You know, the English became superior to me then, until I started, like, I checked. I mean, Google is your best friend. What is character? And also, if there's instruction like character limits, please clearly put in mind space is also a character. So I always advise to work with that. Make sure you are counting space as a character. One major mistake I think is like that I call it the term of one size fits all. This does not apply in scholarship, especially when you want to use one essay for all of your scholarship. Yeah, of course, there are some introductory parts that might fit in. However, you need to make sure you tune your writing to fit whatever requirement. So in scholarship, there is no one size fits all. Even with your reference letter, there's some scholarship might require that your referee fill it in themselves. But if you think you can upload data or stuff like that, be well aware that it could come back at you not nice. So importantly, this is what I would say. Make sure you focus, be able to differentiate between character and words. And also avoid redundancy, and especially avoid one size fits all. Especially this goes for people who are doing the Commonwealth application. You want to think it's the same, but no, avoid the one size fits all approach.
thank you. Do you have, if you have anything to add, Razak?
Just say, while they were talking, I just remember that be careful not to position yourself as the savior of the field you are trying to go and get knowledge in. Because the people you are writing to, they're experts. They have been in that field for only God knows how long. So you coming to say, I want to end food hunger, food scarcity. Are you joking or something? Even the United Nations have not been able to end food hunger. So be careful, like be very direct and specific. Don't write that you want to solve poverty problem all by yourself. Be very direct. Whatever it is that you want to do, like be focused. And one good thing that you want to look at is look at the program in broad spectrum. If possible, look at some lecturers that might be functioning on the program, that might be taking courses on that program. If you can see the loopholes in their research, to some extent, you might be lucky that, okay, they are the ones reviewing your application and they see something that resonates with them. And yeah, that might be very useful for the process. So that is very important. And second thing is, and the last time we say is, please, your reference is like your lifeline. If your referee go and write is a good boy, forget about it. All your suffering, your motivation is gone. So your referee just went and write, yeah, I know him. He's a good boy. He used to be my student. Please give him a scholarship. All the best too. So make sure that you take care of that part. If the person that you are asking to write reference for you doesn't know you too well, it is not a crime to write something for them. Provide them with a comprehensive detail of your CV, like a comprehensive CV, send to them and make them have it and use it. And when they are done, kindly ask them, can I see what you wrote for me? Your referees are not supposed to be putting you in the dark. They are supposed to work hand in hand with you in a way, right? So kindly ask them, is it possible that I see what you have written for me? Because I'm sorry to say, some Nigerian lecturers might be very funny. They will just go and copy somebody's name and put in your own. And when you submit, it's another name that they are seeing, and it's a problem. You get it? So be careful about those two things. Don't overgeneralize your motivation. Be specific, and your references are very key. They can save your life. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, Victor.
Yeah, I think they've said it all, but also you could also there's also some like grammatical errors. So Grammarly these days AI tools are very helpful. Grammarly and the likes are very useful, and also be as real as possible. You don't have to fake it. And there's this issue also of people just fitting themselves in a box, like taking because maybe you know me and I give you my motivation letter. I think that was one thing that helped me when I met Scholar Kobe. I was like, can you give me a sample? He was like, no, write your own. And I had to write from scratch. But if he had given me his own and I trust myself, I would just edit. I call and submit again. So that's what most people do. That's why I don't encourage people sharing their motivation, because it might not be you. You are not being real at that case. You are not being real. So read up, get some insight, write. It's very easy, so to say. You can do it. You can do it. If any of us here could do it, you can do it. That's it. Yeah, those are the few ones I could think of. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah, so let me just add some few. There is when you are writing your motivation letter, there is something called, some application, some piece of text. Let me just mention them. They've mentioned almost all of it, but there are still some. For example, there are some misfired attempt to impress. So you want to impress the committee that is reviewing your application, but you are talking down on your lecturer, you are talking down on your country, you are talking that people do that. People do that. They talk down on the lecturers in their home country, just to impress people on the committee that is reviewing their admission or scholarship. This is wrong. It's one of the things that could actually, send a signal to a wrong signal to the review committee. Another one is they've talked about recommendation, but I will still talk about it. Please and please and please and please and please. you have to be intentional with your recommendation. Number one, some of the mistakes people make with recommendations with for scholarships and the likes is, one, they take recommendation as just, the referees, they just, maybe you want to submit an application today, or in the next 2 days, you now reach out to your referee today, and you start putting pressure on them. Please, my deadline is coming. No. It's not done like that. It's not done like that. You should not do that, because you have to pre-inform them maybe some few months, 3, 4, 5 months before you even start your application, so that you give them ample of time to actually write something good, very good about you. Now, the second thing is, try as much as possible to have many referees or recommenders, because people have like, let's say 2, 3 recommenders or referees, and you want to apply to like 15 schools or 15 scholarships or programs. It will be like a kind of a pressure on them when you go back to them for recommendation letter for your programs. So though some people do not see that as a problem, but all lecturers are not the same. So one of the things I used to encourage people to do is that have at least 4 to 5 or 6, if you can have up to 6 people that can write you good recommendation letter, so that you just be switching from one person to another, so as not to put all the pressure on each and every one of them when you are applying. So, and make sure you tell them, you should tell them respectively to write very strong recommendation, like they said the other time. You don't say I've read some recommendation letters. I shook my head like this, like he's a smart boy, he's a good boy. I think what's all this? And if you come here, people write recommendation, they pour out their hearts. They pour out their heart on the paper for their students. So you have to let them know respectively, like, okay, please sir, or please ma, I want you to write a very strong recommendation letter for me, because recommendation letter weighs, has a lot of weight here, blah blah blah, the likes. Let me just give you like 2 experience or 1 experience from mine. When I was in Germany, I was trying to apply for PhD. At my second year, when I got to my second year of master's. So there was this person from the department, a postdoc. I reached out to the person that I want to start my application as soon as possible, because I have all my results here, and I'm in good standing. So I want to start the application. So that's a good thing, blah blah blah. Send your CV and send a draft. No, send a draft. That was what the person said. I sent a draft to them based on what was my CV. And the person was like, okay, remove this, remove that. I said, let me send you my CV. Let me send you my CV, so that you see that what I've written here is what I've done. So, but I could see that the person was not ready to actually write a good thing for me. Then I just stopped this conversation. So I didn't bother to actually go ahead. I was not desperate, because if I was desperate and that person writes a recommendation letter for me, do you know that it could actually hurt my chances of getting admission or scholarships? Because it shows that this person would not write something good about you, or something you would like, a strong thing about you. So please, so you have to have a very good relationship with all your referees. So somebody reached out to me let's say some few months back, and was saying that I want to submit my application. Do you have this the contact of this lecturer? I said yes. I gave the person the contact. I said, okay, contact them, contact this person also. He said, the person said, this person that you even gave me the contact, we've not even talked for like 6 months. I said, wow, and you want them to write, submit a recommendation letter for you in the next few days. What's wrong? So like, let's just be, let's be good. So you have to have a very good relationship with your referees. Take them. For people that are currently in school, take those lecturers, give them your plans, let them know your plans. This is what I want to do. This is what I ask them for advice and insights. With that, you are forming a kind of, a good relationship with them. By the time you want to start applying, you inform them few months, before the application deadline. Give them the application deadline. This is when I want to submit. And then you will see that everything will go smooth. For myself, during my bachelor and even my PhD application, master's and PhD application. So I have like up to 5 or 6 people that are writing recommendation letter for me. One in the industry I met on LinkedIn. He was an alumnus of the Department of Animal Science, OAU. And since then, we've been together, till to today. So you give them the updates about your, progress, professional life, and your growth, so that you form this kind of organic relationship with them. And whenever you ask them for references, you get it without any problem. And and this person, I was shocked. I applied to many places. I saw one of the recommendation. He poured his house on the paper for me, because I was able to check the recommendation letter he submitted for me. So please, and please, these are the things that people, they've been even single recommendation letter have been preventing a lot of people from getting scholarship. They have a very, very good profile, but their referees are not speaking well of them, which is hurting their chances. So yeah, if you want to apply, if somebody is not willing to write you a very good thing, don't force them. Don't force them. Look somewhere else. So that's all I would say for now. So I think we can entertain some few questions before we call it a day here. You can signify if you have a question and ask the question, then we can answer it. If there are no questions, we can just close with some few things. Do we have people? Do we have questions? Yeah, please, Emmanuel.
Okay. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. I hope I can be heard.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. My question is somehow dicey, but I believe that I can get. Actually, I should be able to get an head start. Now, I graduated since 2015 from FUTA. Graduated since 2015, and ever since then, yes, I've been working. I've always been in the logistics space. So for the past 6 years now. Now, I just started my master's in FUTA this year, this February. I just resumed. Now, my question is this: how do I structure my CV that will make it look academic? Because I've not had any, apart from my undergraduate project since 2015, no research experience, no academic experience. It has always been in the industry that is not related to what I studied. I studied biology. I didn't graduate with a first class, but I had a 4.0/5. So I don't know if I can get a help about how to structure my CV to make it look academic and acceptable. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, so who wants to go first? Or who wants to answer the question? Yeah.
Can I ask now?
Like, we'll take a question. Let's try to answer what Mr. Emmanuel asked. Yeah, I think, yeah, indeed, it's dicey. Yeah, 2017 to 2024, that's about 7 years. And you've not done anything in space of biology, and you want to switch back to biology. Now, I know it would be funny to say, like, it would be very redundant to put your experience in logistics on your CV for biology. It doesn't even go well. So one thing that I think that can be done is you spice things up, like going the hard way to do GRA and killing it. Do GRE, like GRE, make sure you have like 380. That'd be 350. If you can get 350, like at least that one will show that you are still academically sound. Like, I haven't been out of that space, because I know some people would consider, even if you bring a GRE with like 350, they will consider, yeah, he's still smart. But they will ask you, what have you been doing in 7 years? Like, you didn't go to anything biology, and you understand? That would be a good thing to do, and probably spice up things with courses. And yeah, you are back in school for MTech. Makes sense. If you can stay there, do your MSc, finish, at least that would, but that gap is still there. I know some recruiters will still look at it like 7 is big. They will still look at it, but like, in my opinion, one thing that you can do is do the GRE exam, or one, if you are considering the US or Canada, one standardized exam that has weight in the heart of recruiters. Probably that would help show that you are still academically savvy, as it were. Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to say one or two things also, maybe because this connects to me. It's more like an alumni of my institution. So I think for me, I think it's not too late. It's never too late. Yeah, 7 years is a lot of gap, but if you start today and you start doing stuffs, like when I say stuffs, I mean stuffs that count. You know, do some. I don't know what your interest is. Biology is relatively wild. We all here could connect our work to biology one way or the other. I mean, I did my bachelor's in animal production, but now I'm in animal genetics, which is still under biology. If you look at it, but there's look for your focus and start getting relevant skills. Relevant skills. Get skills. Yeah, it's not too late, I believe. Get relevant skills. Your masters, as you said, your masters, yeah, you could use this masters, finish, you could start applying now, it's all good. But I think probably maybe after your masters is the best time to actually, because your masters will fill up that, your masters will be the most recent education that they will be interested in. I doubt if anyone would care about your bachelor's if you waste your master's. So yeah, your master's, get as much skills, try to publish 1 or 2 paper. If it's just one review and one main paper, try to do that. So those things would fill up for all that. As I said, if you can do GRE, good. If you can't, there's a lot of skills. You're in biology, get some hands-on skills, maybe with there are a lot of research institutes like that in Ibadan. Some, maybe you are into biological, or maybe it's the analytical. There are a lot of stuff. Connect with, you are in biology, connect with Babatunde Macaulay is in biology, Babajide Macaulay is in biology. You should be your party, should be your 5 and 6. So get in touch, get insights. I don't believe it's too late. Your masters would fill up for that. Then do a lot. It's really not easy, but you have to do a lot to cover for that. So they won't have to look at that. You have to show them that, okay, yeah, life could happen to any of us. They kind of understand that in this place. Abroad, they understand. You could say you took a parental leave. That it works. I mean, but then once you have your masters, you have good skills. I mean, every skills, get skills, get this, get that. Not just you have to actually know what you know. That's the thing with these things nowadays, because it's different when you even write, when you know what you different when you write. So I believe your chances are high. You just should be willing to do the work. Thank you.
Today, do you have any addition?
Yeah, I think like they rightly said, it's just the skills. I mean, in biology now, everybody's who argue that bioinformatics, because there's big biological data. So if you want to key into that and learn bioinformatics, how and all that, so those are like in-demand skills that will separate you out from the rest. So if you can just leverage on getting the skills aside from your degree, so I think that would be beneficial.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so I think they've told you that's the gap in the years is not it shouldn't be a barrier for you. So just leverage on the current opportunity you have. Try to have very good grade with your masters, and also the attend conferences, submit papers, present, publish, and then training. So yeah, I think that should answer all your concerns, like address all your concerns. Abigail,
Okay, good evening, everyone. My question goes this way. First of all, I want to know firstly, I'm already trying to build my CV. I just graduated last year. I'm still serving though. So I don't know, my CV is not really well combined yet. And my GP, I got a 3.3. So I don't know, that's number one. Then number two, my question for European countries that don't have English as their general language, must you learn their language before you are able to study there? That's another question.
So I would answer that quickly. I will start with the language. So when you're applying, you have to first of all check what is the requirement for each program. For example, the DAAD scholarship has the program taught either in English or in German. So if you will apply, you have to look for what will fit into your own situation, which I would think is to study in English. That being said, studying in Europe, some university will require you to take some Italian courses, European courses, just for your knowledge base, just for the living in that country, but they are not what you need to study. However, they require you, because you might be coming to study in English, they want to see you have a proficiency in English. And that is where maybe getting a medium of instruction from a university, or if you are like some other people like Razak, Ubio, or maybe Victor, who has the IELTS and stuff like that. I don't have it. You can get the medium of instruction as a proof that you are proficient in English. But studying here depends on what program, what language of instruction the program you're applying to requires. Maybe
thank
others
you.
will answer the other part.
Thank you. So for the first question, so I don't. So what's your field? The degree you graduated with?
Biochemistry.
Yeah. So for biochemistry, you need to look at where you want to go uh, for your graduate education. I mean, the field. Are you looking at something more molecular? If you are looking at more molecular level, I would advise if you can search for internship, uh, uh, attend, like they said, the courses on Coursera and Udemy. Take courses that are related to your field. The second thing is, if you have the means, if you can write, give GRE or the IELTS, if it's not possible, you also have the opportunity to actually leverage on, for example, if you are going into, because if you are going to more computational parts, like molecular dynamics, simulation, and some other things, you have to learn them. So those computational skills now, equip yourself with it. Try as much as possible to publish your research, your undergraduate research. It is very, very important. So I can send a link where you can see some journals you can submit some international journals you can submit your work to. So try as much as possible to publish. Like we said, if you are having a low GPA, what you could do to supplement that is having some other areas to be robust. Practical experience, training, relative or related experience, maybe data analysis, because people struggle with them when they reach here. So I won't lie to you. So it is very, very important that you learn all those things. It will put you ahead a lot of people who do not have those experiences. And mind you, people that are here, born and bred in the United States or some other places in Europe, they have the experience as an undergraduate. So now they work with PIs in their labs, they do data analysis and the like. They present in conferences, they even publish papers. Even high school students publish papers, because I judged some few days ago. So now you can write review papers, you can publish your papers, attend conferences, workshops and the likes, to show up your CV. So what I did during my internship, during my NYSC, is to target my NYSC with what I want to do next. So if you have the opportunity of serving in a place that is related to your field that you are going, that is all well and good. If not, the CDS that we used to go, maybe community development, what's it called? I forgot it. SDG and the likes, you can join that, so that all those things, you'll be having community service through that CDS. Then you have experience, maybe leadership experience and some other things. The application is holistic. It's not just about grade alone. So you have to show up where you see you could actually work on, because you can't work on the grade now. So the other areas that you could work on is what you are going to do now. So, and you have to start now, so that by the time you are almost finishing your service, you will have had several offers to choose from. So I think that should answer your question. So, and then for the language, yeah, so like Gabriel said, that's just what there are English taught programs. I had my first year was in Germany. It was taught in English. Second year was in Norway. It was taught in English. So there are English taught program across Europe. But if your end goal is like you want to maybe after your study you want to stay there, you have to learn their language. You have to learn their language. If your goal is maybe after your study you want to get some job to stay there, you have to learn their language. That's a must. So that's about your question. Yeah. Any more questions? Okay, Elijah. Please go ahead.
Hello, can anybody hear me?
Yeah. Please go ahead.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much for putting this program together. So my question is more or less like I want to probably seek help in reviewing of application documents and whatever. Because I applied for one of the Erasmus program this year and I got rejected. Although I finished with a 2-2, I graduated from OAU and I had a publication. I did IELTS. What else? And I think I had an internship, everything related to the program I applied for. Or at the end of the day, it was a rejection. So I don't know if there is a way that all the scholars available for today's program, if there is a way they could help in reviewing my application document.
Well, I don't know. Like, yeah, I don't know. I believe that before you submitted your application for that you got rejected, you probably spoke with some scholars in that program. Either they are Nigerians or foreign students. So like I'm not okay. Can you you
Okay,
can
I think
say.
that was the mistake I made. Although I was
Okay.
able to got someone I got someone that reviewed it for me. Um the person did not finish from the program though, but it was a beneficiary of Erasmus program.
Okay.
So
So
and
what I normally recommend is, as much as you want to get scholars review for you, always know that the experience differs. Like if I get a scholarship application that is directed to my program, the program I graduated from, I know based on my conversation with my coordinators what they are looking for in a scholarship application. So if I'm reviewing for you, I know what I want to point out for you to probably be careful about, right? So while you have scholars reviewing for you, the best we can do is probably look at grammatical coherence. We look at structure, like general reviewing, right? But having somebody in your program to like review for you makes a whole lot of sense, makes it easier because the person is reading from the person's experience on that program and based on what the person had done. And still, I will point out, it does not mean that somebody on the program reviews for you, you will get the offer. But it just makes things easier and life better. Yeah, anybody can review for you, but if you can get people on that program to review, it's fine. Yes, I cannot talk for all the scholars here to say, oh yes, we are available, send it to us, we'll review it, right? Because responsibilities here and there. But I still believe that you can reach out to the coordinator, the person that chaired the panel. He could organize, I'm his boy. He could say, like they there. Still, I go and review. Go and review and it's fine. But I believe that you getting somebody to review for you would not be a problem. But also be careful who you tell to review for you. So that the person will not carry your document and go and give another person. And you be there and you submit second and the first document has gone and there's problem. That's the last thing you are the one that plagiarized. So be careful be sure that this person is trustworthy and would not carry your documents or your intellectual property to someone else. But yeah, I would be glad to see your documents if you share. Yeah, you can chat me privately. Yeah, start problem.
All right.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for
yeah.
that.
Thank you. Yeah, so do we have any other question? Any more question? Any more questions? Yeah, so I just have some few questions for the panelists to cap it up. Yeah, so after, people always, there is this buzz about applying for scholarships, getting scholarships, Yeah, what happens after getting scholarships? Is that, does the struggle ends with all these wahala that we've been talking about, does the struggle ends there, So I just want like maybe 1.5 minutes by each of the panelists to just talk about that. Start with Victor.
I mean, I think we all should be familiar with this connotation. NYSC, now your struggle continues. So, you see, getting in, as I said, is the easiest part. Surviving is harder. But it's worth it. That's just it. It's worth it. And you know the life you want for yourself. So it's worth it. And sometimes I even doubted if I had sense. I doubted if I went to school. There's this what's it called? When you doubt yourself.
Yeah, imposter syndrome.
Imposter syndrome. You feel like, am I in the right place? Like there was a course I took and everyone was talking in the class and I'm like, Sean coming in sha. You have to read. If not for YouTube. Sorry to say, sometimes you feel like you are in the wrong spot, but trust me, you are in the right place. You just need to believe in yourself. So getting in is the easiest part. Surviving in there is hard. Even this PhD, sometimes I'm like, I will not run away like this. But thank God for people like Scholar Kobe who are pushing us that you can do it. Just hanging there. I'm like, okay, there's nowhere we are going to. So we continue struggling with it. Yeah, so that's it.
Yeah. Today?
Yes, I was going to use that NYSC. Yeah, so it's just, I mean, we are just starting. When you enter grad school is when you are just starting. So, like you rightly said, there are several times I've doubted myself, like, am I sure that grad school is probably like this? Like, you'll be like, yeah, people more come. But you just have to like believe in yourself that you can do it and just keep pushing. And that's just it. And just of that, I just wanted to say that regarding rejection, because the program that I'm currently on, I said I did a master's before I'm done another master's. I applied in 2021. I was rejected, but after completing my master's in Hungary, I applied again. And this is the main program I wanted actually. And I applied and I was selected. So just to emphasize the place of determination again in the application process.
Thank you. Razak?
Okay, so yeah, for me, after I got the scholarship, I was happy. I resigned my job. But that was where my problem started because my visa was rejected twice. So the fact that you have funding does not mean that they can reject your visa. And if you are not strong, you will lose hope and depression will kill you. So, I have resigned my job. I had no job. I was homeless. I told my family that I am traveling. So they rejected me visa and there was nowhere to go. So I was sleeping around, staying with my friends, just like a destitute. I don't have I was just going up and down. So it happens. The fact that you have a scholarship does not mean that your visa cannot be rejected. What I would say is before don't be, there's this frenzy of, oh, I got a scholarship, nobody can reject me because there's money. Please take your time arrange your documents very, very well, so that nobody will now come and say there is A somewhere and there's no A somewhere. For that reason, rejection. Please, I beg you in God's name. Then aside that, you know what you are entering. There are some basic things that you need to know. Like for me, I knew I was going for a totally new experience. I don't have any experience in molecular genetics. I had to go pay for an internship. I paid the lab. I paid them, is it 50 to about 50 or about 50,000 naira to do 1 month training in their lab. And what did they teach me? How to hold pipette. How to, my God, how to hold pipette, and that was only what I learned. How to see. I've not seen PCR machine before. I saw PCR machine. I saw thermocycler. Those are the things I saw. At least it gave me insight, because in my program we have one day that throughout that day we are in the lab doing DNA extraction, RNA extraction, running gels, and a whole lot of stuff. So coming there without no experience does not make sense. Like, and then the imposter syndrome will set in. I remember that I took one course. That course was on vector construction. Man, the first day in that class, I was like, what did I get myself into? What is this? Then I didn't sleep that night though. That night I didn't sleep. All the textbook I can find on vector construction, I read it that night. So the next time I appeared in class, I was like, yes, the emperor is here now. So everybody, everybody chill out. So it's not the end. It's a whole lot of work. It's a whole lot of work. Imagine somebody is paying almost 50,000 euros per year for you, and you are not turning up. You just come and you fold down like somebody that came to sell sugar. Like, who is this one? The truth is, I've seen somebody that came into Europe with funding, and after like 6 months, 1 year, they rejected the person from the program. They said they cannot continue with him because he's not delivering. You get it? So those things happen. May we not be unfortunate may we not be unfortunate on this journey. Please, when you go, it's not for the chill, it's not for the pictures. Yeah, it's good. All those things are cool. It's not for the traveling up and down. They are fine. I traveled, I took pictures, but be sure that you know what you are entering and be ready for that. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think they've pretty sum up everything. Like when we entered the program, it was during the pandemic. Germany had a restriction, stricter restriction than other countries, and some people in our cohorts were saying they want to run mad. Yes, because you stay indoor all day. You stay indoor all days. You study, nothing else. They said they want to run mad. So like there were a lot of challenges, there were times of self-doubt. You doubt yourself. Am I even the one that reached this place? But how am I performing like this? So but it's just a phase. Yeah, it's just a phase during the course of time. So you pass through that, but you have to have a very good support system. So it helps a lot. So if you have a good support system, people that have gone ahead in the program, people that are even not in program, but they are maybe in the West, in Europe or US or anything, who mentors you, you tell, how things are going with you. It really helps because they will try to, give you a lot of insights on how to overcome some of those things. There are a lot of things. So some other things include you unlearn, you relearn, and learn, because there are a lot of things you say. Yeah, currently in my school, there is a person that came from Nigeria. The person was like lamenting that maybe I should go back to Nigeria. that this thing is too much, blah blah blah, and the likes. That it's almost like everyone else knows what they are teaching them except the person. I say no, not everyone understands it, but people are just doing like that. You also you will find your feet. So I was saying that now recently we talked yesterday believe me that this person passed the qualifying exam. And also, she's the only one that got a grant from among this our cohorts. So she got a grant, and I was like, "You see yourself now." So, but that shake, that initial shake will be there, but you eventually find your feet if you surround yourself with good people. So yeah, so applying for
See,
scholarship and the like is not the is not
the lady for don't do
is not the
Nigeria
head.
now, they pay security charges,
Yeah.
cyber security charges.
Yeah. So yeah, so
It's not
yeah,
bad,
yeah,
man.
it's used to like get to that point that people would think like, "Ah, what have I got myself into?" So
Immune,
yeah.
Salabay.
Yeah, so please prepare your mind as you are applying. Also, it's good that we are telling people so that you prepare your mind, you will not be shocked with with any difficulties or challenges, and you know your way around any challenge once you are faced with them. So I think we should be calling it a day from here because many of the scholars they have so many other things to do. So yeah, so what's I'll just ask just one more question, just 1 minute for each panelist. So what's your final parting advice to the participants?
You can do it. You can do it. I mean, if I can do it, you can do it. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm the best of student or I'm the, but it takes will. It takes will. Do you want it? Yes. If the answer is yes, then you have to put in the work. It's a continuous effort. You have to put in the work for you. For you. And as I said, have a good support system because you will miss your family, you will miss your mother. I went to after 2 years. You will miss Nigerian food, you will miss everything. So it's not just academic stress, depression, weather. Ah, God, no way, very alone. So yeah, but if you know what you want, I don't think anyone is enjoying what Nigeria is going through right now. There's a lot of things, and it just seems like there's no hope. So if you want to put your life in, like you want to secure your future, and I mean, if you have money, you can always go back to Nigeria and make it better. That's my dream too, to go and contribute. But please, if you want to do it, you can do it. Give it all your best, and I wish you all the best. See you at the top. See you abroad. See you in Europe. Just tell me when you come in. I like traveling, so I can come to your country and say hello.
Thank you. Yeah, so Lady.
So I would say, what do you want to give to your children? Like, what kind of life? Like, and are you willing to sacrifice for those? Yes, I know that there are the pains now might not, you cannot quantify, like the pains are too much. But the truth is, just 1 years, just 1 years, you forget that they have rejected you before. The day I saw my acceptance letter for the Erasmus, I was closing work that day. I was going to give report to my senior manager at the feed mill I was working at a farm I was working, and I saw the acceptance letter. My joy knew no bound. Let me not tell you the sweet part. When I was most joyous was the first day I got my first payment. That day I got 8,000 euros. I almost fainted because in my whole life, I've not seen such an amount before in my whole life. Personally, in my whole life. So imagine somebody is saying, come and learn. We want to build you and we want to pay you. No, it's something that is very big, something that is very big. So if you think of what legacy or what life you want to give your children, I think it is worth the sacrifice. So like you said, you can do it. If any of us did it, you can do it. And make sure that you're motivated. Don't allow the situation, the rejections to put you back. use them as building blocks and climb. And I'm sure that you'll get there. And like you said, if you're in the US, if you come to the US, hit me up. Though US is not like Europe that we fly up and down. There's no Ryanair, yeah. So hit me up. We can plan something.
No
Like,
Flixbus.
no Flixbus.
No Euro train.
Like,
You have to drive.
You will drive. Oh.
Yeah, thank you so much. Today.
Okay, yeah. Okay, let me just say this, picking up from where Razak stopped, that's what kind of life do you want to live? So I started application already, but 2010, 2020, that October and stuff, I was at IIT and I was watching all the shooting and everything. And I said, no, this is not the country I want to raise my children where the government does not value life enough. So that was, I intensified my efforts and I said I was not going to give up. So at that point when I got rejected and I was depressed, I remembered why I started and I wanted to say this. At that point where you want to give up, remember why you started, because it is whoever give up that messed up. Thank you.
Now we give up fuck up.
Yeah, so
With-
yeah, so yeah, so they've carved it all. Yeah, so it's very, very important that we are just intentional. Be intentional on this journey. It is very, very important. Know what you are doing, know where you are going, and then put in all the effort. If you might be faced with a lot of difficulties, but just try as much as possible to put in all the efforts, and then be prayerful. You will get there, and then try to have as many people as possible as your support system, and believe in yourself. That you get it. Try to learn from people that have gone ahead of you. That's one of the things that I've been able to that have helped me a lot in my life. Look at their profile, look at what they've done right. People who have done something wrong also, look at them, take your lessons from them, and then try to tread your path to your future. So I wish each and every one of you the best in your application and in your life. So you can reach out to, I don't know if this, you can reach out to us, and then we can during our spare time, because people are very, very busy these days, especially me. So but just remember what we've said here. You have your future on your hands, and try to do as much as possible to help your future. Thank you so much for your time, and I really thank all the panelists for taking time out of your busy schedules. I think Victor wants to go to grocery, because in Norway in Norway on Sundays there are no groceries. So if you don't buy everything you want to buy during the week or on Saturdays, then there's no food for you until Monday. so we will just we release you so that you go and do grocery. So thank you so much once again. I wish you the best in all your endeavors, and thank you to our panelists again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, thank you all. Bye.
Bye.